Toronto is a city full of life, adventure, diversity, and the most social city in the world to visit. But many dark secrets lie in the history of the buildings in Toronto that people walk past and go inside every day. You see, the buildings and places are now supermarkets, fast food restaurants, theaters, and recreation halls. The stories that took place inside these places will traumatize you and give you nightmares for the rest of your life, inspired by true events. The Elgin and Winter Garden Theatre. The theater was established in 1913, built to entertain, humor, and bring shows, movies, and stories to life. A young girl was using the washroom in the establishment when someone walked into the bathroom and stabbed the girl multiple times. The reason for the attack is unknown. What's even more strange is that the wounded girl crawled to the elevator where she screamed and cried for help, but no one helped her. A few minutes later, she succumbed to her injury and passed away. Today, staff members have reported that the elevator will sometimes automatically go. The elevator would get stuck on that floor, and people have also reported random cold spots throughout the theater. You would think City Hall is a place to determine the fate of humanity. I'm talking about the courtroom that many criminals face to determine the outcome of their future. But is it only just a courtroom? Or a house of horror? Across the street from Nathan Phillips Square is a very old building, City Hall. Inches City Hall is known to lock up criminals from all walks of life. But for these two criminals, they may have taken it too far. Ronald Turpin, 29, was a career robber and even went far as to shoot a police officer. Arthur Lucas, 54, was a pimp and killed two people who appeared to be witnesses to a major drug trial. They were both tried and convicted within a year for their crimes. Decades later, many people speculate the true evidence and question the events that happened those two nights. People believe their trials were unfair. The judge suspiciously sped the two cases regarding the criminals through the court system at a higher rate than you would see with traditional court proceedings today. It has even gone so far that the Association in Defense of the Wrongly Convicted opened a file about Lucas's death. On December 11th at 12:02 a.m., Lucas and Turpin were executed at the Don Jail and sentenced to hang. Judges reported they would feel a person tugging on their robes and the feeling of a hand touching their shoulder. People would hear footsteps from the staircase without anybody walking on them and hear muffled screaming and crying from the attic. The reason for these paranormal encounters is to be the ghost of Lucas and Turpin. And now the most paranormal, supernatural, demonic place in Toronto. This place is known to have frequent activity of paranormal events that still occur today. Many witnesses have been traumatized and developed PTSD from their experiences. Before this place was a post-secondary school since 1890. This so-called innocent place used to educate people was originally an insane asylum. From this point of the video, we will go to investigate the places where these tragic incidents have taken place. Stay tuned. The apple tree was known to be the site of a ghost who was working at the psychiatric hospital as a nurse who hung herself on an apple tree after having an affair with a patient. A large number of cases reported from students and staff members attending the school have claimed to see the sight of the ghost women while on campus at night. The nurse liked to wear lavender perfume, and people claimed to have smelled a strong perfume in the hallways, without nobody being physically present in some instances. The nurse was seen in the G building and would watch people through their windows at night until the students decided to board up the windows. There have also been reports of sightings of ghosts in the open fields behind the campus grounds. People believed in seeing a human figure staring at them and waving. People manifested as the woman who hung herself on the orchard tree. Even more eerie is that the psychiatric hospital had a coal power generating station to cremate the patients who passed away. A professor at the institute didn't believe any of the allegations and said there is a cemetery at the corner of Evans and Horner Avenue, where approximately 17 bodies lay to rest, and 22 of them were babies. The professor may believe these stories are complete garbage. On the campus grounds in the F building, many students reported a very gross fouling smell of decaying meat from this building. As the students approached this building area, the smell began to get so strong it will make them sick to their stomachs. This part of the facility was part of the morgue. Could the smell be related to something else? I don't know about you, but I seem to have lost my appetite. Many students have also claimed to see the sightings of ghosts roaming the hallways at night, and hearing the sound of children playing and laughing. The city has endless stories of suffering, crime, and pain. Fear is what supernatural spirits feed off of. The buildings, things that connect to the evil of humanity, are something you want to avoid crossing paths with. This series is only the beginning of uncovering and investigating the true paranormal activity across the city of Toronto. Stay tuned to find out about part 2 of this series.